Mum and I are about to do something so exciting. We're about to go to a reindeer farm. In my book, Lumi and Wolf come across a reindeer farm, and that's where she first meets local boy Oscar, who is the son of a reindeer herder. And well, I've never been to a reindeer farm before. I've read about them, I've learned about them, I've interviewed Sámi people for my book, but I've never actually been to a reindeer farm, and that's going to change now. And I think that we're actually going to get to feed them. And this reindeer farm that we're going to is actually run by Sámi people. It's an actual real reindeer herding farm that does a bit of tourism on the side. So yeah, it's exactly the kind of place that Lumi comes across in the book as well. Now we're on our way. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Lottie. I'm an author, and as I said, I've written a book that's set in wintry Lapland called Lumi and the Wolf. We are now on a reindeer safari with Lapland Safaris, and there are reindeer everywhere around me, around and behind me. We're about to go on a reindeer sleigh ride. And this is a reindeer farm, like the ones I describe in my book. Oh my goodness, there they are!
No niin, hyvä.
Okay guys,
Wow.
This is Willy. This is Semppa.
Simon.
Simon, yep.
Hi.
This is Simon in Finnish variation, Semppa.
Semppa, something like that. So he will be walking the reindeers.
I'm same, no, I'm walking the back.
Yeah. You can come with me.
Joo,
Hei!
kaksi.
Mahtavaa! Oi. Hei! This was one of the most astonishing things I have ever experienced. And the reindeer herder told us that this was how his grandma travelled to school every morning when she was little. Did you know that there are over 200,000 reindeer in Finnish Lapland? That's more reindeer than people. And it's the indigenous Sámi people who keep them, but the reindeer get to roam free for most of the year, and they're only gathered twice a year. A reindeer herder can have as many as 1,000 reindeer, but it's rude to ask for an exact number. Okay, hyvä.
Joo, tämä on peski, tämä on perinteinen saamelainen vaatet.
Wow.
Talvivaate tässä on.
Here Sempa is describing his traditional Sámi clothes to me. He says he wears them throughout the year. He's got a summer version and a winter version. It's all reindeer fur. It keeps him completely warm, even at minus 40 degrees. And he has made his outfit by hand. As part of his outfit, he carries 4 different knives and other tools.
And if the last one can close. These reindeers you can touch if you want. Probably it's easiest to touch their heads, because if you touch them on the back, sometimes they freak out. This one doesn't. But yeah, go for it. We're gonna empty the whole basket, so to.
We got to feed them lichen, which is their very favourite treat. It's the moss that grows on rocks in summer, and the reindeer herders collect it for their animals. The smaller reindeer you see here are female, by the way. We're now back from the reindeer farm and I'm buzzing. I learned so much. Did you know that reindeer drop their antlers every autumn after they mate? So they have to have big antlers to show off to get the women, and after that they just drop them. But forests are not covered with reindeer antlers because they actually eat them. They eat them because they're loads of minerals, and they eat them because they find so little food in winter, especially nowadays. And this was such a sad fact, but winters aren't as reliable as they used to be, which means that the reindeer can barely find any food in winter, because before it used to snow and there'd be powdery snow like you see here, through which the reindeer could dig and find lichen. Oops. Whereas now, often in late autumn it snows, but then the snow melts again. And when it freezes again, it turns into a layer of ice. And when it then snows, there will always be that layer of ice in between the snow and the ground. And the reindeer can't get through that layer of ice to the lichen below. And they end up going hungry, which means they have to be fed. And that's really expensive for the reindeer herders, and it's also dangerous for the reindeer because they can end up starving because they can't find food in nature like they used to. I wish there was something I could do. I mean, living environmentally conscious and trying to counter global warming, that's what everyone can do. But it makes me sad. The reindeer herder we met, Vili, the owner of the reindeer farm, he is Northern Sámi, and he told us that his grandma used to travel to school every morning by reindeer sleigh. That's what they used to do before snowmobiles, before public transport. So this was a very real and authentic form of transport that we just got to try. I want to thank Lapland Safaris for this incredible experience. I learned so much, so many things I would have never learned from books. And I will never forget the reindeer sleigh ride and feeding them. It was incredible. Thank you. Then it was time to go back to our log cabin for a little bit of rest because we had more activities planned later. Wow. I can't stop admiring that view. In my book, Lumi doesn't know how to make a fire, so Oscar teaches her. Let's see if I know how to make a fire. Whenever I travel, I like to keep a travel diary, but this time I'm keeping Lumi's forest diary, which means I draw and write about everything that I experience in nature. I also picked up a couple of flyers so you can see me cutting out pictures of the snowy landscapes. Because even though I am a writer, I don't think words are enough to describe how beautiful the trees look. I also brought a little travel printer so I can add photographs of things we have done. And here are the final pages. I was lucky to pick up those flyers, but I especially enjoyed painting these reindeer. And those are Sámi symbols I saw at the reindeer farm. And now I'm wearing all my layers because it's time for the next adventure. We are about to go Aurora hunting with Lapland Safari. I'm really excited because I've never seen Aurora Borealis before, Northern Lights. It is very cold. This is our guide, Anna. Can you tell us how to find Northern Lights? What's your best tip if you want to see them?
So the main point is to get out of light. So you need to escape the artificial light and go for the darkness. And of course, it's good if you have a clear sky, so the chances are always higher.
And what if there is no clear sky? Can I still see them?
There is still a chance. Sometimes you can see the Northern Lights through the clouds. If they're very active, so there is always a chance, and the weather changes super quickly, so you just stay out and hope for the clouds to move a bit, so there is still a chance.
Amazing, thank you.
Thank you.
In the olden days, snowshoes were crucial for trekking across northern Finland's deep powdery snow. The Sámi people used them for hunting and for travelling between settlements during winter. They used to be handmade from birchwood and animal sinew, and they are called lumikengät in Finnish. We headed up the Kiilopää Fell and into the Urho Kekkonen National Park again. First, Anna used her flashlight, but then she switched it off and we could still see, even though the sky was covered in clouds. Anna said that when the tiniest amount of moon and starlight shines through the clouds, the snow reflects it, and that makes it possible for us to see, even though we're far away from any artificial lights. Unfortunately, we didn't catch any northern lights, even though they're visible most nights during winter. But it didn't matter. We had a fantastic adventure nevertheless. We enjoyed spotting magical creatures in the snow formations. Anna showed us animal tracks, and then she served us hot juice. I don't think this is something I would have done without a guide, so I'm really grateful for this nighttime adventure. Thank you, Lapland Safaris. We made it back to our lodge. I decided to make a fire, even though I wasn't cold at all because I was wearing so many layers. Let me show you how many. Even though I was quite sweaty at this point, I'm a real Finn, which means I had to finish off the night in the sauna. Finally, we didn't get to see any northern lights, but here's a little clip for you so you can see what they look like. I hope you enjoyed watching. Let me know what you thought in the comments below, and I'll see you soon for my next and final Lapland video. Bye!